Hey there viewers, welcome back to another episode of VGAPR Garage. Today, I believe this is update number 3 on my 2005 Mazda 6 hatchback build video. Today, we're going to be lapping the valves. I've already done the intake side. I do have to say this is my first time doing it. Luckily, there's a great repair manual by Haynes for this, and there's YouTubers which really go into depth. One of them I'll link below is Joffrey, who's great, very informative and amazing videos. I wish mine were as good as his. Some of the things that I used in this, this is just a suction cup for to hold the valve and lap it. You have your valve grinding compound. I know there's different grains of it, but this seems to be working for me, so I'm going to go ahead and continue to use it. And denatured alcohol. I do have this really cool setup over here that holds the valve pieces all in order. So it's marked front and back, and I have the front versus the back, so that as these came out when I was disassembling the engine, they went in here in order. Specifically the valves. I don't think the springs, because in this car they are not a different part number, or the retainer seats or the retainers. There is no difference in those as a different part number. So when it comes to lapping valves, let's go ahead and zoom in. So this is a valve seat. It is a pressure fit ring that, if you do have catastrophic failure, can be machined out and have a new one put in. It is beveled at, I believe on this car, or on most cars, I'm not sure, at a 45-degree angle. And then you have your, this is dirty, let's clean that off. Your valve, which also has the same corresponding angle on it. These need to sit flush, perfectly flush. I chromed these. I didn't chrome them. I polished them, and I had to clean all of this area because there was a lot of carbon buildup. If I can, I'll put a picture in. So these need to fit perfectly together. Because I polished them, I took some surface material off, and I need to make sure that these sit perfect. If you don't, you can get an issue where you don't have proper compression, and that'll mean you have to disassemble, and I really don't want to disassemble this again to do other things that I'll get into about this type of engine. So lapping the valves is important. Whether you purchase new, or you do what I did of polished, or you have a new seat put in, you really have to do this. So let's zoom you guys out a slight bit. What you want to do is take in the lighting. That's not that bad. Another thing that I used to clean is, thanks to Joffrey, because it's super cheap and it's way better than a paper towel, because paper towels rip. These don't. They don't rip and fall in. But anyways, cheap coffee filters. I hate coffee, so it's me helping people not have coffee. Anyways, so what you want to do is, I punctured a very tiny hole in the valve grinding compound, and you just want to apply the compound to the 45-degree seat of your valve, like so. You don't need to put a lot, and as I've been told through many YouTube videos, you don't want it to go down into, I believe it's called the valve guide. You don't want any of this compound to go down in there. The other thing that you want to do is lube your stem so it doesn't scratch the valve guide. And you just want to let it go down in all by itself. It shouldn't be that hard, but So there we go. That's what you want to do. You can now actually start the turning of it, but because I don't want to make a mess, I want to keep this as clean as possible. I really don't want to get the grinding compound on anything but where it's supposed to go. I'm going to do what I just did to all the rest, and then I'll start the process. Okay, so you've seen me in the montage set all these up. Now the next step is you want to take your lapping tool, this guy right here. It normally comes with 2 different size suction cups. You'll want to make sure that you get one that works for you. You can use a power drill out of the back. I'm preferring to do it this way, mainly because of obviously the valves are at such an angle in the cylinder head. Putting it up on its side, this is just going to be a little bit easier for me. So you want to take, I'm taking the smaller cup on the exhaust side, and you just push down on the center of the valve, and it sticks. And like you are gonna, use a stick and whatever to make a fire, you want to take. Let's try to get a little bit more light back there towards that end of it. Right, you want to take your hands and start turning, and I just go down the shaft of the lapping tool. And if you've noticed, it sounded very gritty and then got smooth. I'm going to do it again, and I'm not actually. Let's go with the bigger size. I'm going to do it again and not talk, and hopefully you can hear that sound. There we go. After you're done, you go down, lift up on the valve, so that the compound will go back in, and do it again. And listen for the sound. At the end it got smooth. Now you lift up again and do the exact same thing. You want to do that a couple times. I just keep doing it. And I'm going to do a montage and get you guys all the way through all I do. I've gone through. Just gonna pull one out. You want to clean the lapping compound, excuse me, you want to clean the lapping compound off your valve. I'm sure if you haven't polished yours, it'll be a much easier process to clean it off. And what you're looking for, see if we can get that to focus in. Let's zoom you guys in right in here. What you're looking for, focusing on the, I may take a picture of it because it's being a little annoying. Let's grab a light. Focus on that. Doesn't want to focus on it. It's being a little annoying, eh? Run automatic. Ugh. Sorry, guys. Focus in. There we go. What you want is, see that gray ring? You want an even gray ring. Focus on the end. An even ring all the way around your valve. That's what you're looking for. There we go. That's what you're looking for all the way around. If you don't see that even gray ring, go ahead and do some more lapping. So that's basically what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull all of them out. I am gonna spray the whole thing down with brake clean to get the compound off. I don't want to rub it because those little grits could ruin what you've just done. So go ahead and spray it down or with something. Alright, so that's the end of this part, or maybe the end. We'll see what happens. Maybe I'll continue building. Alright, so now it's time to install the valve stem seats, which sits down in here. There's 8 on both sides. They go around the valves. And this is part of a kit that I bought by Engine Tech, and exhaust side is gray and intake side is green. On the engine, or on the cylinder head, I have it facing forward. This is your exhaust side. The biggest way you can tell is, I mean I know I took it apart, but the biggest way is this right here. I think it has to do some returning of hot exhaust gases. And then your intake side, you just kind of know. I know. The book helps. Anyways, I do have a socket that I'm going to be using that I've cleaned that goes down around to help drive it in, and some assembly lube. I am going to just do one side and then I'll show you guys the other. So, because lighting kind of sucks, I'm only really going to show you guys on one. But you have your intake valve stem seat. This is of course the top of the cylinder, and this is right down here is a valve guide. Now I'm going to take some assembly lube, put it around inside, just around in there like that, and then just drop it on the valve guide. Make sure it's on there relatively straight. I have a cleaned, for this particular size, 18mm socket. I'm going to carefully put it down in and push it till it's flat on the cylinder head. And there we go. There's no need to hammer it. That's basically it. I'm going to do it on all of them. I'm not going to show you guys the repetitive. This is the exact same thing for all of them.